Hello dear second year students at Nawroz University, College of Languages and English Department. In our first class of drama, I'll try to explain the content of the course book and also give a brief introduction to drama as well as elements of drama. Firstly, we will try to have an introduction to drama. Then we are going to explain the main elements of drama, types of drama, and also we will explain some characteristics of Elizabethan drama. After finishing these points, we are going to move to the plays. We are going to study 5 plays during this academic year. As well as during studying the plays, I'll try to explain some literary terms that are related to drama and also some dramatic terms. They are called the dramatic terms. We are going to have 5 plays. Your course book is called Elizabethan drama or Shakespearean drama. That's why firstly we will study 3 plays by William Shakespeare, which are Macbeth, the tragedy of Macbeth. Then we have a comedy, which is The Merchant of Venice, and another comedy by William Shakespeare is The Tempest. So the 3 first plays are by William Shakespeare, and we have also 2 other prominent famous figures of Shakespearean drama or Elizabethan drama, which are Christopher Marlowe and Ben Jonson. Dr. Faustus, or The Tragical History of Dr. Faustus by Christopher Marlowe, is the 4th play of our academic year. Then we will finally move to Volpone by Ben Jonson. So briefly, these are the plays that will be covered, hopefully will be covered during this academic year. The way that we are going to study each play, firstly we are going to have an introduction to the play. We will study the plays in their context. As we already mentioned that the plays belong to the Shakespearean drama or Shakespearean plays, we are going to have a brief introduction about the historical background of these plays that we are going to study. And then we will explain the main characters of the play, because with the studying drama, there are different ways of studying drama. If we study the plays in detail, and if we take the texts, we will only be able to study one of these 5 plays. But we are just going to, we will not take the texts, we will not study the texts in detail, line by line or scene by scene, but instead we will have a general idea about the plays. We are going to focus on the main events, the main characters, as well as the main themes of any one of these plays. So that's why the main characters of each play are going to be introduced, as well as the minor ones, but we will focus on the main characters more than the minor ones. Then we will study the plot of these plays. The sequence of the events, the main events of any one of these plays, followed by the analysis of the play. There in the analysis we will try to study or to shed some light on we will have a critical view toward the story in general as well as the characters. So we will analyze both the events and the characters as well, and then we are going to study the main themes in any one of these plays, the main ideas or the lessons that we learn from any one of these plays. Finally, the symbols, the motives, and any other literary elements that can be found in this place will be explained. And for today's lesson, I'll try to explain briefly what is drama and also the main elements of drama. But before moving to drama, let us have a brief introduction of literature. What is literature? Literature is an artistic writing worthy of being remembered. This is a very brief, simple definition of literature, or written works that are considered to be very good and have lasting importance. This is another brief definition of literature. So anything which worth is to be remembered, or writing, artistic writings, okay? Because they are different. We cannot say any writing, but we are saying any artistic writing worth to be remembered can be called literature. Or written works that are very good and have lasting importance also can be called literature, or labeled as literature. Now, a brief introduction to types of literature, or genres, or the main types of literature. Firstly, we have drama, poetry, prose. These are the three main types of literature. Each one of them is divided into smaller categories, or we have subdivisions of these main categories. Or we have fiction and non-fiction. So prose can be divided into fiction and non-fiction. So literature in general is divided into drama, poetry, and prose. Drama, we have different types like comedy, tragedy, musical, melodrama, and theatres. Poetry, we have lyric, narrative, didactic, and so on. Fiction, we have novel, myths, fables, and short story. Non-fiction, biographies, journals, essays, and articles. So these are the main types of the main divisions of literature, and some types of each kind of these main types of literature. Now let us move to drama. Let us see what is drama. Drama is a story written to be performed by actors on the stage. This is a brief introduction, or a brief definition of drama. So it's a story written, but why it is written? To be performed. Okay, we cannot say any story can be, we can call all types of stories drama. No, this type of story is written specifically to be performed by actors on the stage. So it is possible to have a story, or a fictional story, to have a kind of a story which is which cannot be performed. So we cannot perform on every type of story, or all types of story on the stage. Or another definition, let us see where is the what specifically the word drama means, or where does that word come from. The word drama comes from Greek dran, which means to act, or to do, or to perform. So the word of drama, or the original, is from a Greek word which is dran. And that word means to act, to perform, or to do. Now we will explain the main elements of drama. Let us see how many types, or how many different types of elements we have. The elements of drama can be divided into three main types, or three main elements. That are the literary elements, technical elements, and also performance elements. We are going to briefly explain each type, each of these elements. Firstly, the Aristotle divides the elements of drama into 6 main elements. This is according to Aristotle, that a drama should have 6 main elements, which are plot, theme, characters, dialogue, music or rhythm, or spectacle. Now we are going to explain any one of these main elements of drama individually. Plot refers to the action, the basic storyline of the play. So the plot is the storyline or the sequence of the events of the story. And plot itself has 6 elements, which are the initial incident or the introduction, or in other words the exposition, or then we have the preliminary event, which is in the initial incident, where the play starts, or where the drama firstly starts. Then we have a little bit complexity or more details about the characters or the setting, as well as about the conflict of the play. Whereas the preliminary events is where the conflict of the play is introduced. Then we have the rising action, climax, falling action, and denouncement. Here we have another picture that explains these 6 elements clear. So we have the exposition, which is the beginning, or where the play starts. The beginning of the story that introduces the conflict, character, and the setting. So when the play opens, in the exposition or the very beginning, we have the conflict, character, and the setting are introduced. So this is the first stage, the beginning of the story. Then we have the rising action. In the rising actions, it's usually before the climax, and this is specifically where the characters try to solve the problem, but they fail to solve it. So the problem or the conflict gets more complicated in the rising action. And what we have in the middle is the climax, which is the highest point or the turning point, the point of the greatest suspense or action. Okay, so generally speaking, we can say that the plot can be divided into 2 different sides, which is separated by the climax. On the left side we have the exposition, the rising action, and on the right side we have falling action as well as the resolution. So the climax is the point or the highest point in which the conflict is in its most intense point, and it is the point of the greatest suspense or of all action. After the climax, we have the falling action. So it is followed. The falling action follows the climax, which is just opposite of the rising action. In the rising action, we said that the problems or there was an attempt or trying to solve the problems, but these tries or failed. But in the falling action, we said that follows the climax. There is a hint to that the problems gradually solve, or the conflict somehow, or we have less, the intense is reduced, or gradually, or the conflict is about to be solved. Finally, we have the resolution, the end of the story, where the conflicts or the problems are solved. Okay, so The two different sides of the plot in this diagram are quite clear. We can say that the exposition is the opposite of resolution. The falling action, the rising action is the opposite of falling action, and we have the climax in the middle. So this is about the first element of drama according to Aristotle. We said that this is what the plot is, the first literary element in drama according to Aristotle. Now let us move to the second element of drama, which is theme. Theme refers to the meaning of the play, or theme is the main idea or the lesson to be learned from the play. In some cases, the theme of the play is obvious, other times it is quite subtle. So, theme is the message which the author or the writer tries to convey to the audience or the reader. It is the meaning of the literary work or in drama, in which we are, it is the idea or a lesson that the audience learn after by the end or at the resolution of the play or at the end of a literary work. We have some general themes in which a conflict is between two individuals. When a conflict arises, we will learn something from that conflict that arises between two individuals, two characters, or two actors, or a conflict between a man and Superman, or supernatural power, or another external, which is not a human being, or a man with nature, or conflict between the man and himself. These are some different types of conflicts that we are going to explain them. And themes are sometimes quite obvious. They are quite clear. Every types of audience or readers can understand the theme or can get the idea or the message. But in some other words, it is not as obvious as clear, but it needs a kind of some people or some audience understand it because it is complicated or it needs interpretation. The third element after the plot and the theme, we have characters. By the character, we mean the people, sometimes or sometimes animals or ideas portrayed by the actors in the play. It is the characters who move the action or plot. So by the character, we mean the people or animals or sometimes ideas which are dealt with as human beings or as people that portray or present the play, or they play the role, or in other words, they will explain the conflict, or they have a role in the conflict in the play. And it is through the characters that we have the action or the plot move, or in case there are no actors, there will also be no plot or no actions as well. We have another term here introduced, which is the characterization. It is the way that the author presents the character, because we have many different characters. We have many different ways of also characterization. Two main types of characterization are implicit and explicit characterization. During the literary terms that I said we are going to explain later, characterization is one of the points that we will mention some more details about it, but for the time being, just know that characterization is the way that characters are presented by the author, or characters are portrayed by the author. We have different types of characters that we also have another class about types of characters, but for the time being, let us just know their names, just to remember when the lecture about the characters come, just remember these names. We have the protagonist, the antagonist, which are just the opposite as these arrows show. We have flat and round character, static and dynamic character. We have foil and stuck character, as well as stereotype and archetype characters. So briefly, character, we mean the people or animals or the ideas that portrayed by the actors in the play, and it is through the characters that the action or the plot of the play or a literary work is presented. And another element of drama is dialogue. This refers to the words written by the playwright and spoken by the characters in the play. The dialogue helps move the action of the play along. So the dialogue is usually the conversation, or it refers to the written of the text. So firstly, the text is written by the playwright, then it's performed by the characters. So it is spoken or presented by the characters through different types of or forms of dialogue. And we have here three types of dialogue, which is the first one is just exchange between or conversation between two characters. It's can be called a dialogue between a character and another one. We have two also very similar forms of dialogue, which are the soliloquy and aside. Firstly, a soliloquy, a character that is typically alone on the stage delivers a long speech, which is called soliloquy. Emotions and innermost thoughts of character are revealed in a soliloquy. So, when a character is alone by himself, there are no other characters who is talking to himself or who is engaged in a dialogue with himself in which he reveals his emotions or inner thoughts, which are not known to the audience, in order to be revealed or in order to be explained to the audience, is called a soliloquy. So in Hamlet, for example, to be or not to be is one of the most famous soliloquies in English literature, or even we can say in literature in general. When Hamlet was suspicious about his actions, or he was thinking about the possibility of killing the king or not, he started talking to himself. This is what we call a soliloquy. And we have another form of dialogue which is aside. Aside, this is spoken by a character to another character or to the audience, but it is not heard by other characters on stage. Asides reveal what character is thinking or feeling. As I already mentioned, there is a slight difference between aside and soliloquy. We are going to further explain the differences and the similarities between the two, but just for the time being, remember that aside is unlike an exchange between two or more characters. This is not a conversation, but a character is when he's talking to another character or to the audience, okay? But the characters usually spoken by one single character in the stage, okay? And here in soliloquy, when a character is addressing another character or is talking about another character, or which is or in another case which is directly addressing the audience, is called aside. Okay. For example, when two characters have a problem, one of them intends to hurt the other. he is going to just face the audience or tell the audience that he is going to forgive his friend or the other character in case he apologizes for something that he or she has done in the past. Okay, this is just to explain what a character is thinking or what is feeling about a specific situation or a case. That's enough for today. As just the first introduction, I'm going to briefly remind you about what we have explained. Four of the elements of drama, literary elements of drama according to Aristotle, which were the plot, theme, character, and dialogue, as well as briefly introduce the content of the course book, the plays that will be covered, and also a brief definition of literature and drama.